Hi, this is going to be a video on Bible prophecy. It's the third following the introduction, and also this is me with some climbing rope, my climbing boots, and of course faithful harness. And I wish to use these as a simple illustration. The reason I'm doing that is because in the introductory video, if you got to see it, and if you didn't, I recommend it. It's a bit of entertainment. It's only just about 2 minutes long. I mentioned something Jesus said, which has been forgotten by many. Jesus said, "Many will come in my name, claiming the time is near. Do not follow them." Now, wow. Many will come in his name. There are many Christians who will tell you Jesus is coming soon. It's so near, it's so soon. But Jesus said, do not follow them. So I wish to illustrate just simply by a knot on a rope, what it is to follow someone who teaches Jesus is coming is near. And but this whole video that you're watching now, I'm going to give you something which is more reliable, a good knot to hold on to. So if I have a good knot here, then if I picture, for example, that I'm new to climbing and somebody has just taught me a new knot, and being new to climbing, I don't know any better, and so this knot, if it's not a good knot, I'm going to be following somebody unsafely, aren't I? And so Jesus is saying, do not follow those who say the time is near. Do not follow those who come in his name claiming the time is near. And so I'm going to make a knot here. This is what we call a figure 8 knot. You can see it's a nice figure 8. It's a very safe knot. And what you do, you put it on your carabiner, like this, and then the person ahead of you is belaying with the other end of the rope. And you, because you've got a safe knot, are being held firmly. But if you haven't got a safe knot, and you're following that person because they've taught you the time is near, you're not safe, are you? Things already happening. Many will deceive many. Wars and rumours of wars, famines, pestilences, epidemics, and earthquakes. They will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you. Much persecution. Many will betray one another. False prophets. Lawlessness will abound. The love of many will grow cold. The return. Then they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they will gather together his elect. We've heard what's already happened. We've heard about the return of Jesus. What's in between these two sets of passages? In between we have, this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world. The abomination of desolation, standing in the holy place. Great tribulation, as has not been since the beginning of the world. false Christs and false prophets will arise and show great signs and wonders. The sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Things unclear as indicators for all. Unclear as telltale to nearness. Preaching of the gospel. Tribulation at the local level. False Christs. False prophets. Remaining events. 1. The abomination of desolation, standing in the holy place. 2. The darkening of the sun and the moon. 3. The stars falling from heaven and the powers of the heavens being shaken. Not good indicators. Now, 2 and 3 are not good indicators as to the coming being near. Why? Because the sun and the moon getting dark and signs in the stars in the heavens could happen so quick that they are no use as such. Only one sign remains. So one main sign remains as a telltale as to how near the return of Jesus will be. The abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place. Indeed, Matthew adds, whoever reads, let him understand. In fact, Jesus precedes the mention of this event by saying, when you see, suggesting this event will be recognizable. Now, we know Daniel mentions this, but who else does, as a sign to precede the return? Paul does. Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day of the return, etc., will not come unless, not until, the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God, all that is worshipped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Paul, in his first letter to the Thessalonians, told them about the rapture. Here, he says it will not happen, nor the Lord's return, until this event in the temple first takes place. Just as Jesus said it would. After the tribulation, his angels will gather together his elect from the four winds. Jesus said the abomination of desolation occurs before the tribulation, verses 15 and 21. Daniel wrote, and from the time that the daily sacrifice is taken away, and the abomination of desolation is set up, there shall be 1,290 days. The abomination of desolation, standing in the holy place, in the temple of God, the place where the daily sacrifice is taken away, equals the temple of God in Jerusalem. Notes, language. Paul's use of naos for the temple is significant as it is the most used word in the Septuagint, the Greek version of the Old Testament the apostles quoted from, to refer to the buildings of the temple. History. In AD 70, the temple was destroyed by Titus after laying siege to Jerusalem for some time. Between this time and the time Jesus spoke of this event, let alone Paul, no abomination was set up in the temple. No one has sat as God in it. What must happen before the return of Jesus and the rapture? The temple of God is to be rebuilt in Jerusalem. The Antichrist is to come to power, the son of perdition Paul mentioned. The practice of sacrifice is restarted. Ada. Then the abomination of desolation can be set up, not before. So here is a sure sign, a clear telltale, a realistic indicator to how near we are to the return of Jesus, a secure truth to be held by. I believe, and aim to show in a video soon, we're centuries away from this event. Jesus went on to tell us our responsibility in Matthew 25 verses 14 to 30. To make use of the talents he gave us, to be faithful in all that God has enabled us to do.